maybe we
No,
can.
I shut the door. I shut the. Actually, my dog actually doesn't like Zoom for some reason. When she hears voices and sees a bunch of people on the screen, she starts going nuts. I don't know what it is.
Your
She's a
dog.
pretty calm dog, but something about Zoom, especially if I did one with my family. We had a Seder, a Zoom Seder. So when she was hearing voices that she knew,
Uh-huh.
she didn't see them out in the room. She was so confused. Since then, she's like zoomed out.
You do ever have to zoom in on picking up her poop when you take her for a walk?
I try not to zoom too close.
Yes. I like those ways that you can pick it up from, like social distancing the poop.
Oh yeah, no, definitely.
Guess who tuned in? Peter Fogel's watching.
Oh, okay, good.
Want to say hi to him?
Hey, how you doing? What's going on?
Well, here we are, Facebook, and we have the amazing Jeff Greenberg from New York. Nope, I lied. He's from New Jersey.
Close to New York, though. I'm only a half hour away from Manhattan.
Thank you. Yeah, pick up my pieces, will you? You're a comedian and you do mortgage lending.
Right. I'm like the Lone Ranger.
In what way does one of those help the other?
Well, you know what it is? You get to meet a lot of people when you do mortgages. You know, you have the people that refer me business, real estate agents, financial planners, attorneys, and so you just become very comfortable around people. You know, whether you're sitting in front of them or on the phone. So it really works hand in hand, and it works out good because I have a lot of people that I've done business with, a lot of realtors I invite to the comedy shows. So, and a lot of my humor, I do put in some, real estate and mortgage humor in there. There's a little something there for everybody.
Oh, that's great. I was a banker for 20 some years. I lost count because I didn't have any interest either. But I was a banker, and they had me teaching tellers and new accounts. And I knew all about that. But then they said, okay, now you're going to teach loans. And I didn't know anything about a loan. And that was a nightmare, pretending. They made me pretend that I knew what I was talking about. Have you ever taught anybody anything you didn't know?
You know, it was interesting you mentioned about loans. I've been doing mortgages for 33 years now. But I used to sell municipal bonds before that. So in 1987, somebody suggested getting into the mortgage business. And I thought to myself, wait a second, how do you get paid a commission by lending money? I always thought you got rewarded by finding dirt on people. You shouldn't get loaned. You know, like remember the old Mr. Mooney from the Lucy Show?
Yeah.
Why are we giving this loan out, Lucy? Mr. Mooney or Mr. Potter from It's a Wonderful Life. What are we giving? Give me a loan here. There's a building and loan, Mr. Potter. It's just, why are we giving a loan to the cab driver? I was thought that, like the idea was you're rewarded the loan officers. You find out they lost their job right before the closing. Good job, Jeff. You saved the bank money. We're going to give you a little reason.
What's the funniest thing that's happened while you're doing mortgage lending?
I'll tell you the funniest story. And it's actually the first year that I started the business for Carteret Savings Bank in 1987. We had a very new underwriter. And the underwriter is one who's approved for work. And she was very, very strict. And one of the things you have to do when verifying a mortgage is somebody has a large deposit, a large recent deposit into their checking or savings account. We have to source where that came from. And usually a borrower's explanation is fine, especially if it's a smaller amount. So in this case, there was a $500 deposit into their account. And then 3 days later, there was another $500 put into there. So the underwriter wanted to know what was that from. So I contacted the bar. The bar said, well, they had bought this dog, and we took the dog home, and the dog they were just not getting returned the dog and got their money back. They put the money back in the bank. All right, that sounds like a pretty good explanation, you know? So I told the underwriter that, and the underwriter says, no, I'm going to need more proof, Jeff. I'm going to need more proof of that deposit. So I called the borrower, and I said, my underwriter's asking for proof of the deposit. The borrower said, oh, Jeff, I'll get your underwriter some proof. It'll be right on her doorstep. She gets up in the morning. Right there. So, I thought that was one of the funnier stories.
That's funny. Yeah, mortgage lending has changed over the years. I mean, I started taking loan applications at Washington Mutual, and were you in the loan processing or were you in the application proceed? What part of mortgage
I've
loan?
always been in originating. I've always been taking the loan, just really more in the sales end of it, not really on the operation.
And while you're asking all those questions of the customer, it's a perfect opportunity to tell jokes. I mean, like they'll answer and you can say something flip. Did you ever use your comedy to relax the people?
Oh yeah, that's one of the things I do. Is that I always have been very laid back, but always had a good sense of humor. So, although I took the business very seriously and made sure people closed on time, I always wanted to keep everybody at ease. But I wasn't like a real conservative type that always had to say the right things. I always get a lot of compliments on surveys that they just like working with me.
Oh.
Like the fact that I was always in communication with them and that I just had a very relaxed and funny way.
That's awesome. Did the mortgage company ever use you to tell jokes?
Actually, what happened was I've always done like company Christmas parties, so anytime we had the big party at the hotel and everything, I was always up there telling jokes and stuff like that.
That's cool.
Yeah. So yeah, that was also too. Many years ago, when I worked for GMA Steam Mortgage, I was part of this training class that lasted a week, and so they wanted to have the video department because again, GMAC was a big company. We had offices all across the country, so they kind of focused on two people out of the group of about 30 of us, like 2-3 people, to put in the video. So I was fortunate that they counted me. They wanted somebody that was kind of, funny and just, things so people would watch the video.
That's amazing.
So I took that as a good compliment that they wanted me.
Absolutely. Well, let's back up to you early in life. When you're growing up and you make people laugh, when was the first time you remember making people laugh? What was that like?
Oh God, I can remember back to kindergarten. Actually, I was very precocious. I'm Jewish. Probably tell by my name, Jeff. So when I was young, my mother didn't want to put me into the public schools right away. She thought it'd be better if I go to a yeshiva, a private school, that they'd be a little bit more strict and really show me the right way to go. So I was always big into practical jokes. I would take the yarmulke. We were on the 4th floor of a building in New Brunswick, in New Jersey, Central Jersey, where I grew up. And I was taking the yarmulkes off the kids' heads and throwing them out the window. And so people would drive by and they thought the Japanese were sending paratroopers, see the yarmulkes coming off the building. I used to blindfold the school bus driver. Guess who? Is that you, Jeff? I was always very much into practical jokes. I was always trying to make all the kids laugh. That was my thing.
That's great.
Funny story. My friend Murray Voloshin, when he was bar mitzvah, and this is in Livingston. I grew up in Livingston from the time I was like 9 years old up until high school. All right, and so they hired a comedian. It was Buddy Hackett's son, Sandy Hackett, to perform at the bar mitzvah.
Wow.
Instead of having music, they were having a comedian. Well, he was running late. He hit a lot of traffic. So Murray's mother asked me to get up there and tell jokes. So I was 13 years old. I think that was like my first time, in front of a lot of people telling jokes. I was like 13.
Oh my gosh.
Join people to finish the kishka,
So then when did you, it says on your Facebook that you started doing stand-up in 2017.
Yeah, I just started. I've always meant to go earlier, but I've always was so busy doing mortgages and everything, and I just said, gee, I just didn't really have that much time. But what happened? I'm Robin Lakin, who's married, her husband Jeff Lakin. I went to high school with. We were friends going back to Hebrew school. I mean, me and Jeff Lakin going back to Hebrew school, and he kept reminding me how during the Purim celebration, that I would come into temple dressed as an Arab. I remember I made the Western Wall at a Domino's sugar, so the diabetics were like falling all over the place. But anyway, so Robin, she's been doing stand-up, I guess, for about 8 years, and I'd be over their house a few times. They live only about 15 minutes from me. We live in the same town.
Robin's my closest comedy friend.
Yeah, no, she's great. So I'd be over their house, and I'm doing my joke. She says, "Oh, Jeff, I gotta get you on stage. I gotta get you on stage doing one of my shows." And I said, "Okay, fine." So it was like last April, I did the Broadway Comedy Club, and it went really well. I really enjoyed it, and got a whole bunch until everything shut down. I was doing the Greenwich Village Comedy Club. I did a lot of Tierney's Tavern in Montclair. So just a lot of different things. I was probably doing about maybe about 4, 5, 6 shows per month or so until everything shut down.
Yes.
Lately, I've been doing just a lot of stuff on the internet, just different Zoom comedy shows. I've been trying to combine. I'm trying to be creative where I get people who are comedians but also are business people too. So we try to do comedy shows but also promote our regular businesses. Right? So this way it's a win-win, so I can get network with other people, other comics, and maybe help each other out with our business.
So it's like a networking organization that's fun.
Yeah, so I did one yesterday on the Connection Machine on Facebook.
I saw that.
Put together, so I've been putting them together and just and so far so good.
So you put together shows.
I'll bring the comedians on, and then I'll coordinate with the person who runs the site. Let's say, and then they can host it. I'll have them on host, but I'll get everybody's intros. I'll just basically stay in touch with everybody until the show starts, give them the lay of the land and whatnot, and that's it. It's just something. It's a lot of fun. The people ask me, Jeff, do you find a big difference between being on stage versus doing comedy on Zoom? And I said, for me, it's really the same. Either way, I don't hear any laughs.
Last night I told jokes on a Zoom show, and I didn't know they couldn't hear me, but I saw them laughing. And I wasn't telling the jokes, and I was like, I didn't know that the premise was that funny, and that made them laugh even harder.
There you go.
They weren't even laughing about my jokes because they couldn't hear them. They were having a party while I was pretending to. So I saw on Facebook that you're a Philly Eagles fan.
Yeah, I'm a big Phillies fan. I love baseball, football. You know what it is? I've always been from the New York area. People ask me, how come you're not a Mets fan or Yankees fan? But when I was a kid, we used to rent a house down at Long Beach Island. And this is the days before there was cable TV.
Mm-hmm.
So Long Beach Island in New Jersey was one of those spots that got the Philly channels and the New York channels.
Oh.
So I remember when I was stuck in the house with bad sunburns and all kinds of different things. I was just watching the Phillies games.
Mm-hmm.
This is like the late '60s or so.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, boy, I really like the broadcaster, Richie Ashburn and Harry Callis and all that. I love the team. Mike Schmidt was just coming up. I said, this is going to be my team. And I was always off the beaten path. So I said, all my friends are Mets fans or Yankee fans. I'm going to be a Phillies fan.
Very.
The Phillies in the National League and the Orioles, both the Orioles and the Americans, the my friend from junior high school is a big Orioles fan. And he asked me to be an Orioles fan with him. I said, let's do it. So I stay with both these teams, thick and thin.
Now, do you watch football?
Oh, yeah.
Because
Football fan. My wife's a very big football fan, too. She's a big Giants fan and Notre Dame college football. But we're, and also college basketball.
So speaking...
Really missed the tournament this year,
I know. Oh, my gosh. So I saw on your Facebook that you're a Philadelphia Eagles football fan. You like the Eagles?
Well, actually, with football, I like any team. I don't really have a real preference for like one particular team in football. But I can watch any game. I'm just a big football fan.
Me too. Yeah,
I was rooting for the Eagles, like I said, when they were, had their Super Bowl year.
I'm from the Upper West Side of the map, Oregon.
Okay.
It's still
Yep.
and Oregon sent Chip Kelly to the Philadelphia Eagles. So
Right.
yeah, so people in Philadelphia,
Football program up there.
yeah, and Philadelphians are still mad that Chip Kelly went there.
Yeah.
He bit off more than he could chew, didn't he?
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's tough for these for the college coaches to do well in the NFL. Some, I think only who's the one from Seattle, Pete.
Carol?
Yeah, Pete Carroll. And he didn't do well with the Jets when he first coached the Jets many years ago, but he's done great with Seattle.
Yeah. I think people need to know their audience. Like Pete Carroll, I don't know that he's tough enough to really be a Jets coach, Like I think it takes East Coast coaching, I think would be a lot different than West Coast.
Yeah, maybe we should turn this into a sports talk call-in show.
How about
Pete from Queens.
call in now?
You had a question on the Knicks.
Let's do a TED Talk. We can do this. So, take me through the trajectory of your comedy since you started. What are some opportunities you've had, people that have helped you, people you've been on stage with that impressed you?
Oh, yeah. What I really enjoy is just meeting a lot of the comics, both established ones and newer ones, and just hearing tidbits. They give me advice. Like, for instance, probably the best advice is just doing a lot of open mics, especially the first couple of years. Just do as many, just to keep yourself, try out new material, try out just changing words on certain jokes you're doing. And I just find just going to the open mics and just meeting different people and just becoming friendly with them is fantastic. And I really enjoy it. It's just and my only regret is that I really should have done this years ago. It's a lot of fun. I was just with everything happening with the virus and all the comedy clubs shut down. It's like, oh boy, it's like really bad timing.
Yeah.
Because it definitely is a big difference when you're performing on.
I know.
I really feed off of a lot of people.
I think
It's great when people, my friends and family, that come to the shows and whatnot. It's always nice.
so nice. Yes.
Just like I said, they were used to me, cracking Passover jokes at the Seder. So it's like, so when they see me on a stage, it's a little more of a novelty.
Yes. I can't get my family to come watch me. Every time I send them a video, they say that they couldn't play it. And they tell me how much they like Ellen DeGeneres.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Keeps you humble.
What was I going to say? But it's fun. I mean, after a while, though, like my wife would come to the first couple shows, but after that, she was like, that's all right. I'll just stay home and watch the dog.
Yeah. Let the dog take you for a walk.
If you're only going, it's fine.
Yeah. So, what are some of your favorite places out there on the East Coast to do comedy? Broadway?
My favorite place is Tierney's Tavern and
I've been there. Robin and Helene took me there 3 years ago. We saw Gerald Benford and Sandy Ellers.
oh, okay, sure, yeah, yeah. And Helene, I've been friendly. Helene Witt, I've been. In fact, I think it was like the second show I did at the Greenwich Village Comedy Club. She was the host there.
Yes.
I've been friendly with her. I did a show. She invited me to the Actors Temple. So they had a Hanukkah party there, and it was like an open mic comedy. So that that was fun. That was this past back in November. That was.
I did it the year before.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, yeah. It was a lot of fun.
Yes.
And yeah. So what was I gonna say? Yeah. What was your question again? I was listening.
No, it's just that
Oh, yeah, so we're talking about Tierney's.
yeah.
Kansas is a great atmosphere. It's only about 25 minutes from my house, it's easy to get to. And, Pat Grillin, who runs the shows there on Sunday night, does a fantastic job. I find that just I've become friendly with a number of the comics there, really good people. And it's nice. It's just,
Great audience.
Broadway Comedy Club too, like Robin's shows that Robin and Nancy Levine and Robin Lake did the shows that they do over at the Broadway Comedy Club are just a lot of fun.
Absolutely. I love every
My routine is I usually go to the Westway Diner to get my meatloaf special. At around 6:30 or so.
Uh-huh.
Sit there, and I walk over to the Broadway Comedy Club. That's it. Nice full stomach.
Yes, I love that place. And Broadway Comedy Club for some reason is so amazing. Just that and Comic Strip Live are my favorite places.
Yeah, and I just did recently, just before everything shut down, I did a show at the Comic Strip. That was good. I got to meet Gladys, Simon, and Gene Ken, a number of other people there, so that was fun. And then we all went out afterwards to eat, across the street. That was like probably the last thing I did before everything shut down.
Oh,
That was like, I think it was right about the beginning of March, right around there.
that Gladys Simon and the Simon Room and all those people there are the reason they're my home, my New York home.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, great people. Robin and Helene and everybody and Gladys. Oh my gosh. The atmosphere that Gladys Simon creates in her room for comics to support each other long after you leave New York and go to another part of the country. The video went out. There. Can you hear me? There you are.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
Yeah. All the comics there support each other long after they're at Gladys's.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. And then, each week on Wednesday nights, they have the virtual comedy show there. It was 2 weeks ago.
Yes.
I'm looking forward to that again.
That was so fun. That was so fun.
Yeah, so one of the things I've always been known for is doing Rodney Dangerfield.
Really?
Are you a Rodney fan at all? You like Rodney?
I am a huge Rodney fan.
Okay, because since I was in 8th grade, kids would come up to me and say, "Hey, you look like Rodney Dangerfield." So it's going to do that. Let me come back, learn the impersonation, the whole thing. So since I was, like I said, in 8th grade, I've always done Rodney. So I'll do a little Rodney for you.
Okay, please.
I tell you, you're all right, Linda. You're all right. Good crowd. Good crowd. Social distancing. Good social distancing. I tell you, on Valentine's Day, my wife, she surprised me at the front door wearing lingerie. She was coming home. All right, I tell you, nothing's going good enough. Last week a guy stole my identity. When he realized it was me, he gave it back. I tell you, my wife. Yeah, so
Yay. That was,
Little sample.
that's beautiful. I was just watching.
Biggest fear is that I would get up on my bar mitzvah and embarrass the family by doing Rodney. That was
I love him.
Don't worry, Mom. I would get up there and say, hey, Ken's a hospital. What are you talking about? I'll do the whole thing. You know what I mean? Hey, Uncle Seymour, you brought a family of 5. The check better be more than $35. I'll tell you that.
I loved Rodney Dangerfield. I loved watching him when he made Johnny Carson die laughing.
Oh, yeah. Johnny didn't really have to say much at all. Just Rodney just go and no, I love those performances. I
Yeah.
remember, one of the first comedy club I ever went to, just as a, after 1977, was my senior year in high school, and me and my sister and my friend and his girlfriend at the time, I think we went to see Rodney Dangerfield, 1977. Many decades ago.
Was that everything you hoped it would be?
He was great, yeah. He would come out. We were sitting right by the stage. He's coming out. He's sweating. He's like, what the hell am I sweating for? I own the joint, But I was nervous for him.
Not too long ago, we lost the staple there, Chario. Did you ever meet Chario?
I never met, but I haven't performed there yet. That was my next thing to do, is to try to perform at the interview.
Yeah. It's not an easy place to perform at. It's such a small crowd,
Right.
So you gotta. I've seen people really kill with 5 people in the audience.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. That blows my mind that people can do that.
Yeah.
But they do. They do. So the pandemic hit and you're at home. From a comedian's point of view, how are you using your comedy to cope?
Well, I always thought of myself, I'll think of a lot of quarantine jokes, pandemic jokes. I know it's very serious and whatnot, but I always try to put a funny light on things, just to keep people at ease. So I'll go on Facebook and if I think of a joke, something fun, I'll put that on there. And if I get a lot of laughs and likes and whatnot, then I'll put that into an act. When I do do something on Zoom comedy, I'll put that in there. For instance, yesterday, I think I put something about how my biggest fear is when they reopen the Chinese buffets, that they're going to separate the General Cho's chicken 6 feet apart from the Kung Pao shrimp. Or I'll say things I write about, people say, Jeff, when do you think this will be over? Give me a song when you know everything is in the clear or fine. And I say, when you see Dr. Fauci on Dancing with the Stars. The coast is clear. So when the people ask me, Jeff, how is it getting along with your wife? You can't go anywhere. You're stuck with, inside the house with your wife. What's going on? How do you cope? And I say to myself, well, I'll give you an example. On Easter, I watched on television. I watched the 10 Commandments and Ben-Hur back to back. This is basically 9 hours of television, nonstop. I only did it not because of the biblical references or I love the movies. It's because I wanted 9 hours where my wife isn't screaming at me. That was basically, I needed 9 hours. Watching the movie, leave me alone.
Robin says hello. She's on Facebook.
Oh, good. Yeah, I haven't checked my phone yet. I have, I've got to check my phone.
That's all right. I'm telling you. So now let's pretend that Fauci says it's safe to go outside. I mean, medically, everything is all cleared up. What's the first thing you're going to do as a husband, and what's the first thing you're going to do as a comic?
Okay. Well, first of all, I have to get a haircut. That's the first thing. You look at I usually keep my hair very short, but now it's really thick. I mean, it's just too thick. In fact, this morning, there was a dog toy in my hair. Oh man, that's what I know. I gotta get this cut.
You know it's bad when you find an afro comb in your hair.
Oh, yeah, exactly. But I was thinking about ordering from Amazon.
Uh-huh.
They have those, like, remember the old Flowbee? They used to have on the infomercial, cut your own hair, or they have these hair cutting kits for your spouse to cut your hair. But me and my wife, we argue so much. I don't want her near any cutlery on my head.
Robin says that she shaved Jeff's head.
There you go.
So you.
Dog, Piper. My dog is getting so bored from me that when I go downstairs, she just automatically plays dead.
Oh my gosh.
That's why we got to get out of the house, because in the beginning it was fine. My dog was happy. We're both home all day. And she was happy. And believe me, the novelty has worn off.
Novelties. Yes.
Somewhere to go.
What have you been cooking during the pandemic? Anything new and interesting being cooked up in your kitchen? I'm not talking about the bedroom.
What we try to do is make meals that basically last for a week. So I'll put together a shepherd's pie. That just in a huge platter. That, believe me, but I tell you honestly, by the sixth day, the sixth day, it looks like after the tsunami hit Thailand. I mean, that's how the beaches of Thailand. This is what this looks like after the first 3 days is fine. Oh my God!
There's a reason why God took a rest on the seventh day.
Exactly. So that's what I'm trying to do. Just we don't have to worry about cooking each day. Maybe 2 days a week.
That's
Make something that lasts.
That's great. How often do you go out and forage for food?
Sometimes we'll be like, maybe one night we'll go. I'll get we'll do takeout from the local Chinese restaurant. I know a lot of them are closed, but there is one that was closed for a while. We reopened a couple weeks ago. So we'll do a little takeout.
Robin's chiming in for you, Jeff. She says, after this is over, Hoarders is coming to clear out her refrigerator.
Oh yeah. Oh my.
Things are getting so boring, I'm measuring the length of every cord on every appliance, and I'm like, why is the microwave cord so short and the lamp is so long? I mean, you got to get me out of the house, Jeff, quick.
Well, what's really rough around here is, my wife watches MSNBC all day, and it's just nonstop, Trump bashing and all that. I mean, it's one thing if you put on a show for an hour. She has it on all day. In fact, I think she puts the channel block, so I can't even change the channel. I think it just stays on MSNBC. And she starts screaming at Trump at the TV set and whatnot. My dog actually thinks its name is Trump. Come here, it doesn't come. I say Trump, comes right over. So that's the thing. So that's why, I just can't sit there all day and watch some of these shows. I just gotta stay separately. I stay up in my office, my home office.
When you've been out shopping, what's the craziest thing you've seen a human being do because of the pandemic? You seen anything really stupid or weird?
Just that some people they'll put on some face coverings to think that's actually going to protect them and protect anybody else, and like a Dixie cup around their nose or something like that. Just weird things, So just so they can get into the shop right, because the sign says you need to have something. In fact, honestly, Linda, I don't want to say I'm ugly or anything, but a few weeks ago, I was at the supermarket. I was in the cashier's line, and so I asked the cashier. I said, "Could I cover my face?" And she looked at me and said, "Paper or plastic?"
I went to 7-Eleven for a cup of coffee when the pandemic started, and everybody was scared to death. And I'm very vulnerable because I have health issues. So I wore a mask and gloves, and I went to pay for it, and the lady said, "No, that's okay. You don't have to pay." And I thought, well, this would be a great way to make out like a bandit. Just keep wearing the mask.
There you go. Yeah, what do they say now about it? People get the tellers at the banks get nervous when you don't come in with a mask.
Yeah, that's a real switch, right?
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I don't go out much because I'm also like high risk. I think when it comes to the comorbidities, I think I check every box. That's the problem.
Matt Nisenoff says hello.
Oh, okay. Very good.
People like you, Jeff. People like you.
Oh, that's good.
Maybe they want a mortgage loan.
Yeah, anybody needs a mortgage, look me up. I'm on Facebook, LinkedIn.
What's the name of the mortgage company?
Reupload.
What's
Consolidation mortgage.
what's the name of your mortgage site?
Oh, it's called guaranteed rate. So if somebody just looks, just Google my name, you'll find it. Jeff Greenberg guaranteed rate.
Wonderful.
And so you want to hear a little story here. People ask me, Jeff, how do you get your business? How do you get your mortgages? And I said they're basically referrals from realtors. So the realtors will ask me to sit with them on an open house on a Sunday. They don't do those anymore because of the virus. But they say, Jeff, can you sit with me and keep me company for 3 hours at the open? I have nothing better to do. I would rather watch a baseball game, a football game. I said, that's all right. I'll sit with them, at the open house on a Sunday from 1 to 4 because I want their referrals. I want their business. Then I say to myself, something? I refer business to my plumber. So I don't want my plumber to come over to my house and tell me how to take a dump.
Oh, that's hilarious.
I was in the business like in 2008 during, maybe everybody's selling subprime. Remember the subprime mortgages?
Yes.
Okay. So 2008 I was selling subprime.
Mm-hmm.
And the market crashed in 2009. I was working for prime subs.
Oh my gosh. Have you ever done a joke about a flood versus your loan being underwater?
Oh, I would tell people, somebody would call me up and say, Jeff, my credit score is 450. I don't show any income on my tax returns, and I haven't even had a job in the last 2 years. And I would say to them on the phone, I said, listen, there's no point in applying. A half hour later, the guy shows up at my office. I said, I came here for the 0-point loan. He said, no, there's no point in you applying. No mortgage humor. That's like my success in mortgage. I tell people how I made $1 million in draw.
You have to be nice to all the customers too, because when you're turning them down for a loan, you're rejecting them and you could trigger them.
Yeah, sometimes when I have to tell somebody they can't get a mortgage, I try to put a little sense of humor into it. I basically say, we got your credit report in. The credit is so bad that not only you're not getting the mortgage, I'm actually calling the authorities. I think the police need to be involved.
That's great. Well, you've been a real gem to come on here and let me dig into your life. So
I appreciate that, having me on. That's great.
I'll promote your mortgage company name and your Connection Machine Comedy on Facebook.
Okay, good. After this, I'm off to the Merv Griffin show. Mike Douglas.
Where'd you get the time machine?
Now, I'm a big fan of old time comedy and music and everything. I used to.
Me too.
Old time singer. I'm a big Al Jolson fan. Bing Crosby, Eddie Cantor.
Yes. I'm a big Eddie Cantor.
I'm like, remember Joe Franklin? Remember the Joe Franklin show?
Yes.
On Channel 9?
I'm a big Al Jolson. Big.
I belong to the International Al Jolson Society. We go to a convention every year. And
Upstate.
One day festival in Long Island. he was one of my favorite entertainers.
Yes. Al Jolson, Eddie Cantor.
Andy, I love them all. People used to say to me, Jeff, have you gone to any concerts? And I say, concerts, the people I like, not only are they dead, their offspring are dead.
You're a delight, Jeff. I just thank you so much for your time. I'll put the information on this post and I'll tag you. And can you make sure it goes onto your Facebook wall as well, the video?
Okay, fantastic.
Thank you.
I really appreciated taking the time out of your day, especially since you have things to do in the apartment, measuring the boards and whatnot. I don't want to disturb anything.
Things got so bad I was bossing around my command strips. I was goose stepping around the house telling the command strips what to do.
There you go.
I got to work on that joke. Anyway, thank you so much, Jeff. Have a great day, and thank you again. I love you a lot.
Okay.
Say,
Anybody else watching? You can come down back to the planet Earth now. So.
get back on here when you
Back down to the planet Earth.
yes, when things open up and you start promoting your comedy, your Connection Machine comedy, and you're doing that now, but if you ever have anything to say about it, come back on, or when you get back out in the real world doing stuff in person, get back on here and promote it.
Oh, Deb, I appreciate that, definitely.
I may never leave the house again.
Everybody be out there to stay well, stay safe and well, and,
Stay sane.
I always say we're all in this together,
Yes.
I know the Siamese twins say that, we're all in this together,
It's like a big orgy without any fun.
Exactly.
Thank you so much, Jeff. Have a great day too.
Okay,
Tell your wife and your dog hello.
Okay, will do. Thanks.
Thanks, bye. Thank you. Great job. I love him. That guy can talk. He has a lot to say. Oh my gosh, I'd love to see him on stage. I've never been on stage in person with him. I was on the other night on Gladys Simon's show, and he was on it, but it's different in person, as we all know. Anyway, thanks for watching. That was a fun interview, and now I'm off to my 12 o'clock interview, so I'll go get ready for that. Thanks for watching. Love you guys. Bye.